What you guys, got another video here for you on the new way to set up Windows 11. Now we all know that Windows 11 comes with a ton of bloat, and if you don't want all this bloat on your system, then watch this video because this is probably the most easiest way to remove all of this stuff, and also safely. You can also re-enable stuff if you wanted to at a later date. You can see here in the privacy and security settings, there is tons of bloat inside here that you need to turn off, and this little program is going to be able to do all of this for you, and we'll take a look at it in this video. So first, let's have a look at the website where you can actually get the actual application. The program is free to use, and again, it's fully customizable to your own liking. So let's go to the website and take a look. As you can see here, it says make Windows yours. Now we all know that there is tons of settings that you have to turn off, like Copilot, recall, a bunch of privacy settings that you don't need, and a lot of applications that are already pre-installed on the computer. This program can remove all of this stuff, and it is super easy and super safe because you can create a restore point and you can go through and turn off exactly what you want. That makes you have more control over what you have on your computer. So if you're looking for privacy or a bit more performance due to the fact that all the bloat slows down your system and takes up a lot of system resources, something like this is going to be super easy for you to use. So let's go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll get it downloaded. But before we go ahead and do that, let's have a quick word from today's video sponsor, CD Key Sales. If you're looking for a cheap Windows 11 Pro OEM key, then check out the links in the video description. They're all down there. You can use my promo code to get a 30% discount on all your purchases. Just use capital B, capital R09 and apply this to your order, and you'll get a nice juicy discount on your purchase. Maybe you're looking for a Windows 10 Pro OEM key. They also have those on their site as well. Just click on the Buy Now button and use my promo code capital B, capital R09. Apply that to your order and you'll get 30% discount on that as well. Once you submit your order, they will then send you a key. You can then use that key to activate your version of Windows, just like you see on the screen right now. Very simple and easy to do. So let's head back over to the website and download this by clicking on the Get Started button. There's two versions. There's a desktop version and there's an online version. So we're going to go with the desktop version here, and we're going to hit that one, and it's going to take us to our GitHub page. And what you need to do here is download the WinScript installer.exe, or you can go with the portable version if you wish. I'm going to go ahead and download the installer version by clicking on it. Now, it may get blocked by your browser. This is pretty normal for this particular type of application because it's an executable file. But we're going to click on the three dots and click Keep, Show More, and Keep Anyway. And another reason why it gets blocked is because the nature of the program, and also it's not been registered. So you won't have the registered part when you click on it. You can see right here, it says unknown, publisher unknown. Once you click yes, what that's going to do is open up the application. We can click next here, install for anyone using the computer. Click next again, and it's going to go ahead and install that onto the PC. Once we've done this, we can click next, and we can now click on finish. If you want to leave those check mark, you can do. Once you've done this, you can now open up the application. So here we have the WinScript right here, and from here we can now start to customize. It's advisable to use the create restore point first. This is going to make sure that there's a restore point done on the computer, so if there's any issues you can always revert back using the restore point. Verify system integrity. I don't need to run this because this is a fresh install that I've just done, but it's just going to run sfc /scan now and check the integrity. Clear the browser history. I don't need to worry about that because it is a new install. And reset the network. I don't need to worry about any of that because it's a fresh install. I'm not a big fan of the last option. I'm going to leave that and skip that because that is something that I don't condone. Let's move on to the debloat section right here. And again, under the debloating section, there's quite a few that you can go through here. So let's go through these so you can understand what they're going to be doing. It does actually tell you what it's going to do right underneath the actual list here. There's a couple of lists here we can go through. So let's start off with these all these apps that come pre-installed into Windows And again, these have to be uninstalled, and you can do that using this program as well. So remove third-party apps is here. Uninstall third-party apps like Shazam, Spotify, Candy Crush, etc. Then we can remove any extensions. These are pre-installed extensions like HEVC and VP9, etc. We've also got remove Microsoft apps there. These are all pre-installed apps by Microsoft. And you can even remove the Xbox apps if you wanted to by check marking that. If you're going to use any of these, then by all means, leave these alone. Moving on to the Windows features, we can see disable consumer features. These provide suggestions and notifications to users. If you're not interested in any of that, then you can turn the feature on and it will disable it. I'm definitely sure that everyone doesn't want this on their system, and this is to disable recall. So if you don't want recall, then definitely enable that feature and it will turn it off and remove it. Next, we've got disable Internet Explorer. This is an old option that's inside Windows that you can just remove. And again, disable Hyper-V. If you're using virtual machines and things like that, maybe you want to leave that on. Disable Fax and Scan. It says what it is. Disable media player. If you don't want media player, you can toggle that on and it will disable the actual media player right there. Next, removing the Microsoft Store. If you remove this, you're not going to be able to install apps from the Microsoft Store after uninstalling it. So bear that in mind if you do remove it. So if you do use it, then leave it alone and don't touch it. It will skip that part if you don't toggle this on. But I'm going to remove it just to show you. Next up, we got remove OneDrive. I think everyone don't want OneDrive on their system. Debloat Edge. This will debloat Edge if you want to debloat Edge. I know for a fact that this does not remove Edge. If you try to remove Edge, there is an option to try and remove it here, but I know that it doesn't remove it. It will try to remove it, but it says it might not be able to, and it will give a red error if you try to remove it. So let's go ahead and check mark it anyway. There's a remove Copilot option. Copilot is embedded everywhere on Windows 11 24H2. If you don't want it on the system, you can remove it. It's an AI package that's built into Windows. Removing any widgets, you know what these are. These basically are on the PC. And remove widgets from the taskbar as well. These are just all news articles and stuff like that. I don't know anyone who uses them. You see a little flash of it on the screen. That is your widgets right there. If you don't want it, then remove it. Next, we can go to the privacy section right here. Disable apps access right here. Again, there's some access right here we can go through. So let's go through the first lot first, which is this lot here, and then we'll do the disable apps access as well. So let's go ahead and do the disable Wi-Fi sense, disable cloud sync. If you don't know what these are, it tells you what they are underneath. It gives a brief description. So disable activity feed is right there. We can toggle that on as well. And disable notifications tray. This disables all the notification center. Again, disable screen recording. This will disable the Xbox game bar screen recording, and also disable automatic map downloads and disable lock screen camera access as well. And we can also disable all the biometrics. Make sure you don't need it because this will break Windows Hello biometrics authentication. If you use the Hello biometrics, then don't disable that feature. Next, we can move on to the disable the app access to the location. We don't want to do that. And again, disable app access to the camera. If you want to keep that on, you can do. I'm going to remove the camera part and leave the microphone so we can have access to microphone here. But you can turn all of this stuff off if you don't use any of this stuff. So disable app access to the system and also disable app access to the account information and your contacts, history, and all of your messages. You can just turn all of these off. And again, you can toggle all these off. And this is basically all of this area right here in the privacy and security. All this area down here just toggles a lot of this bloat out here that you have to go through manually and turn off. If you need any of these features, then leave them alone and don't turn them off. It's that simple. So let's go back here and we're going to go back to the debloat section. We've done all of this area right here. So next, what we're going to be doing is the telemetry section. And the telemetry section is going to be to do with all the data collecting and data harvesting that Microsoft do on the actual computer. So again, these are all optional. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing here. You can use which ones you don't need and just toggle them on. So let's go ahead and go through the actual telemetry here, and we'll deal with the telemetry side of things. So disable Windows telemetry, goes without saying. It's going to disable the Windows telemetry, disable Windows update telemetry, and as you guessed it, Windows search telemetry. There's a lot of telemetry. Office telemetry. We also have application experience data collection as well. So you want to turn that off. And you notice I'm saying turn off, which means turning it on, which is basically going to disable it. So the feedback data collection and the handwriting data collection, we're just going to toggle these on, I should be saying, really. But it's going to basically turn it off, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, opt out of the privacy consent and targeted ads. We're going to turn all of that stuff on, so it will disable it as well. And again, what we've done is disabled all the telemetry. Now we need to do the disable third-party telemetry, which is to do block Adobe Network and disable NVIDIA telemetry and all that stuff. This is a virtual machine, so I'm not going to have any sort of NVIDIA stuff on here or Adobe products. But if you do, you can go through and work through here and check mark what you want here. So let's go ahead, and we've now dealt with that particular side of things. So let's go to the gaming section and disable the full screen optimization. And we're also going to disable mouse acceleration and disable game bar. Now, if you do use any of the game bar or game mode or any of that sort of stuff, then don't touch it, leave it alone. Now, the beauty of this program or script is the fact that it breaks everything down into sections and it clearly states what it is, so you can easily toggle these on or off and you can adjust them to your liking. Whereas some of the scripts out there on the market will just basically just completely disable everything and doesn't give you as much control as this does. So let's go ahead and go to the performance tab here and set as DNS, and we can set the DNS to whatever we wanted here. So go ahead and set your DNS. If you already have a super fast DNS from your ISP, then leave it well alone. But if you do want to change your DNS server, you can do. But we're just going to go ahead and change it for this video. There's an option to add the ultimate performance, which is your ultimate power plan option. Again, if you don't have it already enabled, you can enable it here by toggling this on. And again, we've got set services to manual. Now, it's always best to set services to manual. That way, if the service is needed, it will be able to use it. Whereas disabling is completely turning it off. I don't know what the list is for this, so I'd need to look at the script and I will be able to see what it's actually changing to manual. Again, we've got disable HAGs. Again, this is hardware acceleration for your GPU scheduling, which may improve performance. We've also got disable core isolation. Remember, turning this on is going to disable core isolation, which will reduce the security on your PC from malware infections out on the internet. Disable superfetch, disable storage sense, disable search, and disable hibernation. So if you like Windows search, then don't disable search, and the storage sense is to clean temporary files and things like that. So let's move on to the next bit, which is miscellaneous. Here we can set the classic right-click context menu, which I'd advise. And also we do have add the end task to the context menu, which is a very good feature to have. Also, we have disabled numlock on startup if you want to do that. And also, if you want to enable the dark mode, this just makes everything dark on your system. For instance, all your start menu and taskbar and things like that. Just adds the dark mode theme to it. Next up, you've got show file extensions. That's another decent one to have. And also disable sticky keys and the snap out layout. If you don't use the snap out layout, which is those annoying little boxes up the top, you can disable that. Next up, let's take a look here. We've got some other things like install Ryzen chipsets and NVIDIA drivers and Intel DSA. We don't have that on this system. But again, you can install software on here as well. I'm going to go ahead and just install the browser here for Chrome. But there's other browser options available for you as well, because this is going to allow you to install software as well, which is a real added bonus. If you want to do some compression here, install things like 7-zip or pzip, you can do. A gaming section is self-explanatory. Install in Steam, things like Epic Games and other games like Minecraft and things like that. You can do that all from here as well. So we'll just go ahead and just select Steam here just to show you basically how it works. I think it uses Chocolatey to do this, or we can get one or the other. So we'll just go ahead and install Steam here. Let's have a look at some of the other options available, which is your utilities. Again, password like Bitwarden and things like Windhawk you can install from here as well. Other useful utilities as well, like Revo Uninstaller, Image Burner, and also MSI Afterburn. Loads of decent programs like CPU-Z, GPU-Z, HW Info, HW Monitor, DDU, all these other useful apps that people generally use. So you can do that right from here. Again, Pro Tools. This is for your VPN software, Simple Wall and other things like that. You can see listed all there. IP scanners and things like that are all listed in there. Microsoft Tools, again, install OneDrive, Power Toys, Auto Runs, Windows Terminal and Process Monitor and all the other useful stuff that people use on their system. Get quick access and download and install it from here. That is the Microsoft Tools. Again, multimedia, you can install VLC and other ones on here as well, like iTunes and other useful ones like Audacity, Spotify. Depending on what you want to install, you can do them from here as well. Pretty useful to have. Next up, we've got communication. Install Discord, Zoom or Skype or Teams or any other program that you're using here. They're generally listed in the communication section. Imaging, I guess this is for Blender, also other programs like GIMP and things like that. Going on to documents here, this is for LibreOffice and other programs like OpenOffice. Depending on what you want to install, it will be listed in there. And security is for your installing Malwarebytes, Avast and AVG as well from there. And once you're happy with this, in the developers, for developers here, you can install some other stuff here as well, like Python and the .NET framework and things like that. Notepad++ is in there as well. Once you're finished and you've got all your selections done, you can view your script. And as you can see here, this is the nice thing about it. It shows you exactly what is going to be changed on your PC. And you can see all of the changes right here because it is listed right here inside the view script. So it's safe to use because you can see what is going to be installed on the system. So pretty useful. And you can also make a copy of this to your clipboard if you want to save it and make a batch file out of it, and it will run automatically as well when you click on it. So what we'll do here is we'll quickly run this script and we'll take a look at what it looks like after it's finished. A thing to mention that it does need to be run in administrator privileges here. So let me go ahead and do that and we can run the script. So let's go ahead and start the script by clicking on Run Script right here. And you will see a little pop up and it will say, do you want to create a restore point? And yes, we do, because you always want to create a restore point when you're running something like this. Little prompt box will pop up here. And it's going to tell you that it's creating a restore point, shows you the progress on the screen right here. And then it will go through and start using the software. So you can see here, installing Chocolatey. This is to do all the installations and stuff like that. And again, it's going to go through and start doing all the settings on the system that we've selected here. And you can see the changes being happened here. It's uninstalling all the extensions and it will go through the whole list one by one until it's done all of your settings here. It will take a bit of time because we've put quite a few changes on the system here. So be patient and let it do its thing. So I'll speed this process up so I don't bore you to tears. And again, you can see that it's going to go through the motions here, start uninstalling stuff and making the changes to the system. So once this is done, we can then restart the PC. It's going to start installing the software here, as you can see on the screen, starting to install all that stuff. And again, once that's done, we're pretty much good to go to restart the PC to make sure all of these changes are set. So let's go ahead and we can now close off the actual application here. You can copy to clipboard and keep that if you wanted to. But again, you can open this back up and rechange these settings. So let me go ahead and quickly restart. You can already see that it's made a change. So I'm going to quickly restart the PC. And there's probably going to be a few little bits left behind because obviously this is work in progress, this program or this script, and it's going to be updated on a regular basis. So yeah, and I think the guy's pretty active doing changes on this. So stay tuned for it because I think it's just going to get better and better. I do actually think it's probably one of the best options available out there. So I'm going to quickly let that finish off. You can see it's already downloading and updating Steam here. So let me just quickly drop that down to the taskbar. There is a couple of little changes that I would probably make myself. And these are probably just due to the fact that it hasn't removed probably everything. And this is because it's constantly changing. Again, I'd remove this bottom stuff here, which I'll do in a second. But up here, you can see it's pretty much got rid of everything apart from this one right here. So I just need to click on uninstall here and it will remove that. LinkedIn as well, we can get rid of that. So let me just quickly go through and see what else is left here. So it's just this one here, which isn't too bad. And again, we can go into the all apps here. Pretty much cleaned everything out, really. I can see media player there. If you need that, you can leave it on there, but we're just going to remove that. Also, Microsoft Teams, that's been left. And you just need to quickly right click and get rid of it. And this one right here, Quick Assistant. And these can all probably be added in with updates. They're probably constantly changing, so that's the reason probably why they've been left. But other than that, all we need to do here is right click settings and go in here and uncheck these, and this will remove that bottom section right here, unless you want to install, say, Start 11 or something like that. And you can see once I do this and open this up, and it's pretty much done there. All I need to do here now is you want it to the left hand side, you can do, and if you want to remove or make that search box a little bit smaller, you can do, or even hide it altogether if you're not using the Windows search or search feature. It's entirely up to you. So you can hide it or make it a bit smaller like this, depending on what settings you've used. So let's go ahead and just quickly make that to the left hand side, just in case people want to change that. And that's just a simple case of going in here, behaviors, and changing it to left. That's it. So that is pretty much it. You've pretty much covered everything here. All of the settings have been put in place. You've got your applications all installed here. And I'm just going to quickly show you some of the settings here. They've already been changed. So let's have a quick look at the task manager here. And again, processes are at 125. I think a lot of people make a lot out of this, emphasizing that it's gone down to 60 and 50. It doesn't really, it can start causing problems if you disable too many services. So I don't think you need to be going too crazy with that. That's pretty much good enough. So going inside the privacy and security area here, these have all been obviously adjusted right here. As you can see, they've all been turned off and adjusted by that actual program as well. So I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Be interested to read your comments. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to all my YouTube members who have joined my YouTube members group. Your names are rolling up on the screen right now. I really do appreciate the support with your tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3. I really do appreciate it. Other than that, I shall see you in the next video, or I'll catch you on the Discord server for a chat. Links in the video description. Bye for now.